Hi guys, this is Reading with Miss Acton today. We're going to be doing our lesson for Thursday, November 5th, 2020. So let's go ahead and get started. So what are you going to be able to do today? You're going to be able to say, I will answer when and where. So we're going to have two different words that start our questions today. So I will answer when and where questions about text that I have read. So together we're going to read a text about frogs. And so that's what we're going to start doing. And then you are going to be on your own with your classwork for today. You're going to be reading about the Okapi, so the text that you've seen several times. If you've been following along with Miss Acton, you've seen it tons of times. You're going to answer questions about it, so it should be pretty easy. So you should be able to get your classwork done pretty fast today, okay? So let's read our text first. So hopefully you recognize this from a few weeks ago. This text has a beautiful visual of this frog that's on a leaf, or sorry, on a flower, and it has some labels to go with the photograph to show you some parts of it. So make sure you're paying attention to that because I think there are two questions that ask you in this that I ask you that you need to use the visual to help you and not just the words, because we know that we learn things from the visuals and the words. So let's go ahead and get started. Frogs are unique animals. One reason they are so unique is that they live two lives. How many lives? Two lives. Some of their life is lived underwater like a fish. Underwater like a fish. This is when they are tadpoles or baby frogs. And you guys have probably seen them. They're like little bitty balls with the tail on the back of them. There's no legs. They don't have any lungs, so they can breathe underwater like a fish. Then they start to grow front and back legs. They grow lungs to breathe. Now they can live on land where they live their second life. So the first life is underwater, the second life is on land, and then depending on what part of their life they're on, they have the tools that they need. Water, they have that back fin and no lungs so they can breathe underwater. And when they're on land, they've got legs and they've got lungs so they can breathe above water. So they have all the tools they need to survive. An adult frog's body is quite different looking from when it's a tadpole just being born. So frogs change a lot from the time that they're babies, tadpoles, to the full-grown frogs like they're in this visual. Okay, so I hope you notice that as Miss Acton answers these where and when questions, and I'm going to scroll up and look at the text again because that's what good readers do. They go back and they check the text. First question, where do frogs live their first life? So they said they had two different lives and one was underwater and the one was on land. So where would they live their first life? So let's see which one they mentioned first. Some of their life is lived underwater like a fish. This is when they are tadpoles or baby frogs. And we know most animals, when they start off as babies, that's the beginning of their life. So it said underwater. Let's see if we can find that answer. Where do frogs live their first life? In Dr. Natz's principal's office? In the water, I'll mention that in there. On land, mention both of those, but which one did they say was their first life, the beginning of their life? Right? And then on top of a unicorn's horn. Definitely in the water. Next one. When do frogs start to grow lungs to breathe air? So we remember reading up in our text that when they start to grow lungs to breathe air, we know it's whenever they're starting to get on land, living their second life. You have to be able to breathe air in order to live above water. We have lungs so we can breathe air. Frogs need that too, or else they'd have to live the rest of their life in water. Let's see which one makes the most sense for us. When do frogs start to grow lungs to breathe air? When they need to blow up balloons for a birthday party? We need lungs for that. Frogs do not need that. When they live on land, that could be a good one. So I'm going to bubble that one, but I'm going to check to make sure that the other two couldn't be a better answer. When they stop being lazy and become a real frog, when they become a tadpole. We know tadpoles live in water, so they do not need lungs. They need gills like a fish. So definitely our best answer is when they live on land, is when they need to grow those lungs. Where can you find the suction cups on a frog? Hint, use the visual to help you. Oh, the visual. So we're looking for suction cups. Let's go to the visual, which is that beautiful picture. It's what our eyes like to look at. Our eye definitely is drawn to this picture of this frog. So wet, slimy, smooth skin, nothing about suction cups. Tiny teeth on top jaw, nothing about suction cups. Long and powerful back legs, nothing about suction cups. Suction cup hands. And it's pointing to the hand, so those suction cups are on the frog's hand. So let's go down to that question. Where can you find the suction cups on a frog? Belly, hands. Let's see if we can find a better answer, though, because that's what good people, good readers do. Eyeballs. In the trash because they're a piece of junk. Maybe some frogs feel that way when they start like falling off trees and stuff like that they can't hold on to, but that's for a different story, not the one that we're talking about. So hands is definitely the answer. All right, so the next one. First thing that I see is the check boxes. So that means there's going to be more than one answer. So I got to definitely read through all of them. When a frog needs to use its powerful back legs, when would a frog need to use its powerful back legs? So when I look up at this visual, they do have really long legs. Like our legs only have like one bend in it, and theirs has three big ones. Look how big the bottom of their foot, which would be like our feet, long and powerful back legs. So let's think about frogs, maybe the size they are, how they live their lives, and why would they need to use those big, strong legs? All right, so first one, to jump really high for bugs to eat. So I definitely think that one would be it because they need bugs to survive. If they don't eat bugs, then they'll die. So that's really important. So I think a frog would definitely use them in that way. To show off its amazing dance moves. I don't think a frog's really worried about dance moves, so we're going to keep that one blank. To jump away from predators. So predators are those animals that are trying to eat frogs, and that's definitely something that could kill them. These animals want to survive, so I definitely think that's a way they would want to use their powerful back legs. The last one, to show LeBron James what's up in a slam dunk competition. To show LeBron James what's up in a slam dunk competition. I don't think that frogs are worried about showing LeBron James what's up. So we're going to leave that one blank. And then the last one, where will you find a frog when it is born? On land or in water? So you're either going to type on land, or you're going to type in water. Those are your only two choices. You have to type in one of those. So let's see what makes the most sense. Where will you find a frog when it is first born? So that would be its first life. And we kind of answered that question up here at the beginning. Where do frogs live in their first life? In the water. So not on land. On land is their second life when they start to grow those lungs and legs. So we're going to say in water. And once we're done with that, we're going to push the submit button. We're going to see how we did. Oh, I didn't put my answer. My name is Miss Acton. I put my name in there. Scroll back down. Submit. And then the first thing it's going to say is ask you if you want to view your score. Remember, you do, because this is how you're going to get feedback. Be able to see the questions that you got wrong, why you got them wrong. So there were 7 points total, and I got 7 of them, which means I got every single point possible. So I didn't get any wrong. But if I would have any of my questions down here, if I got them wrong, there would be that blue link down the bottom with Miss Acton telling me why I got them wrong. So make sure that you scroll through there and see if there's any feedback that you want to see. If you got all of your questions right, you don't need any extra help. You don't need Miss Acton's feedback because you got it all right. But if you were to get any of these wrong, you would go back and click those blue buttons to get that feedback. So now you're going to be doing the same thing, when and where questions, but with this Okapi text that you guys have seen several times. And you can, as you can see, there's when, where, where questions. So some when, some where questions for you to answer about this Okapi. So go get that classwork done, and then you're done for the day. All right. See you guys. If you have any questions, make sure you contact your teachers. And have a safe day, guys. Bye.